Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Anytime Anywhere podcast, or welcome to, if this is your first time tuning in. I'm your host, Jaleesa Kayla. Today is Friday, so happy Friday, everyone. As you guys can hear, or maybe, be able to tell through the frequency of my voice, I'm having a good AM. Like, there's nothing really to complain about. Even if there was, you gotta breathe, stretch, shake, and let that shit go. So, hopefully, your AM has started off well. And if not, it will get better soon. You're just having a down moment or a quote unquote bad moment, not a bad day. Don't claim it. Make sure you speak, positivity over your life. I heard something, I think it was Myron. I can't think of his name, but let me know if y'all know who I'm talking about in the comments below. He does I'm pretty sure he was on a TED talk before. I've seen him on there first. He does like a lot of speeches. He's like a motivational speaker, but I'm pretty sure he's so many other things besides just a motivational speaker. But his first name is Myron, and I feel crazy because I was just listening to his videos yesterday, and I can't remember his last name. So forgive me, Mr. Myron. But his name is Myron. And in one of his speeches he gave, it was talking about communication, but one key point that he made was that when you speak about, like, watch what you speak about yourself, about your life, and just the words you use in general. There's negative words and positive words, like not and trying. He said those are negative words. So when somebody says, I'm trying to do this thing, no, either you are doing it or you're not doing it. Even if it's not perfect, you're either doing it or you're not doing it. If it turned out perfect, or if it turned out well, you either did it or you didn't do it. What did you do for it to turn out well? Did you do something? Did you not do something? Don't use try. And that stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, speak positivity over your life. Use with time, with practice, you learn to use positive words, affirming all words are affirming or can be affirming. It's just, what are you affirming? Are you affirming something positive or something negative? And he said something else about, like, your thoughts. Thinking positive, speaking positively won't guarantee a positive outcome. However, you're more likely, the probability of the outcome being positive versus negative is more highly, or more, you have a higher probability of having, what the heck is going on with this phone? Sorry, y'all. My phone is like connecting to the car and not connecting. Hopefully, y'all can still hear me. But yeah, he was saying, if you think positively about yourself and about your life and just things in general, just your experience in general, the probability of you having a positive experience is higher than you having a negative experience. Same thing for when you think negatively. If you think negatively, you can bet that the probability of you experiencing negative things will be higher. Does it mean that those negative things will always come to pass? Will they always manifest? Not necessarily. However, you'll experience more negative things than positive things when you're thinking negative, when you're speaking negative about yourself, about other people, about anything. And not just Mr. Byron. Thank you, Mr. Byron. Myron. Oh my gosh. Like, what? Mr. Myron. Bad enough I didn't remember his name, his last name, but now I'm giving him a whole nother name. Excuse me. I forgive me for that. Mr. Myron. Thank you. I think his last name starts with a G or something. So I'm gonna call him Myron G. Like I said, I could be wrong, but he's a very well known motivational speaker, and I'm sure he does other things. He has businesses and things of that nature. I just know him in the sector of motivational speaking and giving speeches and things like that. He could be an author, he could be a teacher, so many other things, right? But there's this other um, beautiful being as well, aside from Mr. Myron, that I was listening to yesterday, and he was talking about, his name is Jackson N, and his name on YouTube is Master of Earth, and he talks a lot about like our experience in this realm and what it all means. Like it gets so deep with him, and something he talked about was how you shouldn't, like, succumb to time and what's going on around you. The only thing you can focus on is right now in the present. So if you're focusing on your present, you're not thinking about the past and you're not thinking about the future. The future brings anxiety. The past can bring like sorrow or regret, which are other negative things, whether forward or backwards. There's, some negative things. Now, sometimes when you think about the future, you can be excited and things of that nature. However, there's also like this level of anxiety that can come with excitement and, being anxious about what's to come and what you're planning for. But the only thing you can really control and focus on is the right now. He said, there's like the only time you have is now, which a lot of us already know, you know what I'm saying? But what harm would I be doing to you by giving you that reminder? That was for somebody today on this Friday, going into your weekend, but not even thinking about Saturday. Don't even think about Saturday. Don't think about Sunday. When we think about Sunday, for a lot of you, you get anxiety about having to go back to work on Monday, or what you have to what's to come for your week ahead. Just focus on right now. Right now is Friday, 8:22 a.m. The sun is shining, a lot of the rain has passed. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but we're not gonna focus on that. We're gonna focus on right now. Right now, the skies are a pretty blue. Okay, the clouds are clouding, and not in a negative way. They're just full and lovely and luscious and fluffy. Looks like I want to take a nap up there, and the sun is shining. So hopefully you're able to get out today and experience this beautiful weather, And if not, wherever you are, just do your best to make the present moment beautiful. So like I said, I'm having a good AM, um yeah, I'm doing my best because I am human as well. I'm doing my best to not think about my tomorrow either. That's what made me like even mention that, because I was someone that needed that message, and I was like, you know what, this is a bean, this is some good stuff right here, so let me just pass this along. So simple, so like, small. However, just hearing it, for some of us, like, it could just change our trajectory of our day, or change how we've been thinking lately, and things we got to get done. Like I said before, like this energy that has passed recently with the new moon. It was new moon in Virgo slash Libra. Virgo is very orderly, very organized, wants to have everything figured out, mapped out. On top of having everything figured out, mapped out, they're going to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure that things come to pass and shit gets done as it should. And then you need that loving energy from Libra to help support you in getting things done. You might take a little break, but you don't stop. Take a break, but you don't stop. You don't give up. You don't allow what's happened in the past or what could possibly happen in the future, because we're overthinking or projecting ourselves into the future about what could possibly go wrong, even about what could go right. Like I said, you can build up anxiety over what can go right. Like, oh my gosh, if this goes right, then that means that, I'm going to be promoted, or I'm going to have to give this speech, or I'm going to have to be the one to step up. And although you could be stepping up or doing something powerful and great, and that will propel you to your next level, you can still experience anxiety, because if you've never been in those spaces before, it's like, shit, like, whew, how am I gonna do this? Am I prepared for this? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? All you can focus on is right now, and what feels good, what feels best. and what you feel in your spirit, in your heart, in your soul you need to do to receive the outcome. The master of the earth also mentioned, like, there's no cause of anything. All you have is the right now, and a lot of things are just moving faster than the speed of light, to where you're manifesting and your perception is that, okay, the car, for me, cars are moving, traffic is moving, the trees there. I'm in a space in a world right now where, there's a lot of hustle and bustle, the 9 to 5 grind, blah blah blah, some people are going to work, some people are going to the office, some people are going to the factory, some people are going to doctor's appointments. People are just peopling and living in this you know excuse me, I just had an apple 3D reality 99. However, 99 to the side of me, to the right of me, 33 in front of me. But yeah, all we can focus on is the right now. Okay. Um, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. There's no cause of anything. My question would be, okay, if there's no cause of anything, what is this teaching or this concept of cause and effect? You know, even going back to what Mr. Myron said, there's not a guarantee that just because you think positively all the time that everything positive will come your way and you'll always have positive outcomes. However, more positive things are likely to happen when you do think positive versus thinking negative. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with y'all. Like, I don't have all this shit figured out. When I be coming here talking to y'all, I'm really just talking off the dome, talking off experience, releasing what I feel. 555 on that building. Just came from a 444 location, and now I'm seeing 555. Anyways, yeah, I'm listening, y'all. We're all in this together. But what I will say is that frequencies are real. Something I've been paying attention to lately is like certain routines that I had throughout my course of the day. Not every day. Certain days I'll have a routine outside of the home. Inside of the home, 100% I have a routine. But outside of the home, I've been switching things up, like, switch up, like, where you go and get your vegetables. Try a new store. Switch up where you go look at makeup. You know what I'm saying? It could still be Sephora, but go to a different Sephora location. I know that last Sephora location that you went to last month is like your favorite. They are always in stock. They always have what you need. But just try to switch up the algorithm a little bit. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer in switching up the algorithm, switching up, the timeline, throwing a wrench in the timeline, just to shake things up a bit. Because I don't know. Once I started really tapping into the concept of being predictable, and I didn't really like that for me. I didn't like that for me because people will catch you on the off season of you being predictably, hopefully that's the word, A1A, you being predictably sad, or you're predictable in how you dress, you're predictable in what you eat and how you respond to negativity. You know what I'm saying? People could have caught you in an off season where you were consistently always making excuses for other people's bad behaviors towards you. And then you taught people how to treat you, how to respond to you, how to react to you. But they just caught you in this season, in this space, and they think that, oh, this is just how he or she is. Like, I'm gonna have my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's payday off this motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna have my way. Whole time they just caught you in a specific season. But when you choose to get unpredictable, when you choose to throw a wrench in the algorithm and switch things up, and you come differently, people be taken aback, like, oh my gosh. And they will take offense. Why? Because they feel like it's in a person. It feels like in a person. Oh my gosh, slow down. He pitched in the closed out the World Series last year, and I also think okay. It can feel like a personal attack. I don't know why the radio just came on. If y'all caught that, let me know. What y'all think that means? It scared me for a minute. I'm like, where the fuck is that coming from? I never listen to the radio. Um, or hardly ever, and damn sure don't listen to that. But yeah, it can feel like it can feel like a personal attack to those who benefited from you making excuses for other people's poor behavior and allowing them to treat you poorly, because now they can't get their way. They've compared themselves to you, and they felt like they're better than you and they're in a better space than you because, oh, I would never allow that, or I would never, be that type of person. Oh, they're gonna allow that. Well, I'm going to take advantage of it. Um, without really thinking that, hey, this person was just in that season. Hey, things could change at any given moment. You know what I'm saying? You gotta switch shit up. You gotta let the universe know that, hey, I'm ready. I'm here. Transmute those fucking cycles, y'all. Transmute those cycles. I also heard from the master of earth, that anything that is linear or that goes in sequence or in cycles or is cyclical is an illusion. And for a long time, from my personal experience, and this is just some real shit, like, I'm just gonna be open and honest, you know, it's gonna resonate with those who it resonates with. And if it sounds silly to you, then gosh golly, I have arrived. Thank you very much. Sorry I couldn't. Well, no, I'm not sorry. I couldn't arrive when you arrived. I'm glad that you arrived a long time ago, but now that I've arrived, now I know. You know what I'm saying? But I was someone, based on how I grew up and the experiences that I've been a part of thus far, up until a certain point, right? Up until like mid 20s. Well, I won't even say mid 20s, honestly. I've kind of like always, like, I don't know. I would just say this. Personally, from the experiences that I've been a part of, I was someone, due to like certain negative experiences, or what I perceived as negative experiences, because I didn't have the skills and the knowledge to know, hey, yeah, this may not be favorable, but you can use these experiences sooner than later to transmute and transcend to the next stage, to get out of these loops. I didn't have the knowledge. No one around me had the knowledge, and if they did, they withheld it from me. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, which I haven't been doing lately. Like, yeah, we're all human, but a lot of people know what they do. And if they don't, you have the option to seek out greater knowledge turned into wisdom to do better. You know what I'm saying? You know what? You may not know exactly what to do, but this doesn't feel well. You don't like how you're showing up. You don't like what's going on within you or around you. So there has to be something that can help, transcend or transmute that energy, even if you don't know what it is that you need to do. And that's when you begin to figure it out. However, like I said, I didn't have anyone around me who knew better, who had greater knowledge on how to do those things. So for a long time, I was just constantly living in specific loops, certain loops, and resonating on a certain frequency that wasn't for the benefit of me or anybody else around me. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, it's a lot of times I showed up as not my best self, and I did not have the knowledge or the know-how on how to change that. You know what I'm saying? How to get myself out of those cycles early on, at least. And I developed the belief that growth was linear. Like, okay, once I complete this thing, or once I get this set of skills or this knowledge, it's on to the next thing. And then it's on to the next thing. And then it's on to the next thing. And you just keep going up and up and up, and there ain't no going back, you know? However, it's so funny. On the back of this car, it says, "Ooh, David." Like, what? Is that from a movie or something? If somebody knows what that is, put it in the comments below. I just thought that was so random. Ooh, David. It could be like, ooh, David, or like, ooh, David. You know. I just thought that was funny. Anyhow, distractions. You know, stay clear of distractions, y'all. But yeah, I just thought growth was linear. Anytime I took what I perceived as steps back, or anytime I failed at something when I tried to transcend and it didn't work out, I would take it to heart because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing A, B, and C, and this shit is still not working. I'm trying my hardest. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life out here. This is how y'all repay me. My life is on the line. Everything I'm doing, or just about everything, like the outcome is just not outcoming like in my favor. What the fuck? And I had to learn and accept that growth is not linear. Anything that's keeping you in that mindset is trying to trap you, is trying to give you false illusions and keep you like confined within time. And the concept of that is trying to keep you boxed in, basically. It's trying to keep you boxed in, which we all know, you know, is what this whole quote unquote matrix is about. You know, the box, the cube, keeping you boxed in, keeping you confined and constricted. That's why you always hear that saying, think outside the box. Think outside the box. Like, what if, like Master of Earth said, we're just manifesting and perceiving, you know, this reality in every present moment. We don't have to stay here, you know, just because you're in a bunch of traffic right now, you can manifest or transcend into like a road where it's clear as fuck and you just on cruise control. You know what I'm saying? You have to get out of those confined spaces, figuratively and like physically. Switch things up. Get unpredictable. Transcend and transmute where you can. Because if not, you'll stay stuck, you know, and you'll be forever on somebody else's time, where you'll never really win. Like when I realized I was operating on other people's fucking time and doing things based on other people's frequency and trying to fit in and trying to make things make sense where it did not make sense, it was just like, yo, you feel like you can never win. You know what I'm saying? Time is not real unless you allow yourself to be limited to time. And I'm not saying like in every day, you know, because like I said, I'm still trying to process this shit and figure it out for my own personal life. Yes, you will wake up at a certain time. Yes, you will. If you're working a 9 to 5, you will have to clock in and out, or 11 to 7, or 3 to 7, whatever your shifting is for your specific job. Like, yes, you will be on a time crunch because you feel like I gotta get this done, I gotta do this. I'm still living in this 3D world, and you can't just freaking just be out here, you know. But you do have to learn how to, like they say, quote unquote, you have to learn how to play the game. First, you have to choose whether you want to be a player or not, you know? Do you want to be a player in the field? Do you want to be on the stands watching the players, being entertained? Do you want to be on the outside of the stadium listening to what's going on? Like you kind of have an idea of what's going on, but you're not within the stands actually watching. You're just, a little curious, but you're cool just being a bypasser, just listening on the outside. Or are you somebody who's even outside of the people outside of the stadium listening in, where you don't even give a shit what's going on inside the stadium? Like you just out here, you know, a part of the whole. And this one last thing I got from the Master of Earth, it was a caption. He said, learning how to transmute and transform and transcend out of the cycles versus enabling and being a part of it, you know. And I think to a certain point that is our job, at least those of us who, you know, believe that you can, you know, you see the benefit in breaking cycles. You hear a lot about trauma and breaking generational cycles and curses and things of that nature. It's not, and I've been hearing more people, which has helped me refrain from using certain language and vocabulary. It's not a curse, you know. It's only what you call it, what you name it, what you make of it. If you say it's a curse, then it's a curse. Stop saying it's a curse. Don't speak it over yourself or your family or your lineage anymore. It was just a cycle. Cycles can end, you know? Cycles can end. It just needs something to intercept. That interception can be you. Shit, what if you was put here just to be an interception? Not to partake in a lot of other shit that you've been forced into or made to believe that you were supposed to, you know, take part in. What if you were placed here to be an interceptor and they got you, you know, confined and constrained to timelines, confined and constrained to believing that certain things should be linear? No, sometimes, and I realize this from my personal experience, you get knocked down so that you can go back, so you can go back in time, so you can go back and repeat certain cycles and pick out the lessons and be like, oh, I didn't complete this shit here. Like I'm really not here for the shit that I was working on. Like I really wasn't put here to try to get these group of people to love me, to accept me, to acknowledge me. I was really put here to do my fucking thing over here, to believe in myself over here and align with those who understand what it is that I'm doing, who understand and believe in my reincarnation. I had, you know, I co-created with the Most High. I agreed to do this, but the Most High put me here. Most High Mother and Father put me on this quest, put me on this journey. I'm over here trying to get these common people, you know, these people who have not been called to, one, be in alignment and learn from the teachings and my life experience, and two, who have not been placed here to be a part of my journey. They supposed to be doing some other shit. Now, it's not to say that they're not supposed to be a part of my journey, because they were a helping hand too. They were a catalyst to help me to realize, like you tell a baby, don't touch that. Don't do that. Those are not the people you want to group with. That's not where you're supposed to be. I'm giving you examples. I'm sending examples your way. I'm allowing things to come into your timeline and into your frequency so that you have an idea and examples. Some of us, we got a gang of fucking examples of what not to be, how not to be, who not to mix with, who not to commingle with, you know, who not to trust and who not to believe. All you really got is yourself, for real, for real. And outside of that, all you really have is the Most High. Within yourself and outside of yourself, all you have is the Most High Mother and Father. Like they say, your ancestors be looking at you like, oh my gosh, face and palm. Like, listen, Most High, I'm trying to show this girl or this guy, like, listen, how else can we get them to, you know, pivot? How else can we get them to get out of that cycle? Like, what do we need to do? First, they gotta know that they're in cycles. First, they gotta know that they're repeating the same shit that has not been beneficial for them, nor their, you know, foremothers, forefathers, their ancestors, nobody. You were called here to do something. Just do it. Like Nike, shit, just do it. Whatever it may be, you know, as long as there's no harm to yourself or to others. There could be perceived harm. People may think you're doing harm to them just because you're not being predictable anymore, because you're breaking cycles, because you're not showing up how you always did for 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, however many years you've been showing up. It's never too fucking late. You know how many people get punked out of being themselves? How many people get punked out of not doing what they've been called to do because they got a family members or friends or spouses or lovers or co-workers or, elders or whomever that are going to disown them or look down on them because they chose to break out of a cycle, because they choose not to do the same shit that they've been doing. Like, so what you really telling me is that you're no better than the powers that try to have control over everybody. It's just an endless cycle, and that's how they want you to be. That's how they want you to perish, in the space of trying to have control everything, to try to make sense of everyone else outside of yourself. Mind your motherfucking business and get on your shit. Like, real shit. Mind your motherfucking business and get on your shit. The ego just wants to be fulfilled, to feel satisfied, to make sense of every fucking thing. You don't have to make sense of the next person's situation. You don't have to try to control what's going on with them so that you can feel safe, so that you can feel better. If you feel like you're in harm's way by somebody choosing different for themselves, then remove yourself. And if you feel like, you're doing harm to somebody by choosing yourself, remove yourself. Worry about you. Worry about what you've been called here to do. And if you're not sure, shit, keep confiding in and going to the Most High. Excuse me. Keep asking for direction. Keep asking for guidance. Remain steadfast on knowing that the shit that once you pay attention, once you pay attention to the cycles, the shit that you see constantly repeated, the repetitive ways of being and living that don't feel like a fit anymore, that don't feel right, that don't, like, listen, it stops and starts and ends with you. I'm the Alpha and the Omega and everything in between. It's not to be self-righteous and be like, oh, like, y'all need to get like me. No, worry about yourself. Because the harsh reality is something that I had to understand and learn, is that, on some real shit, everybody has not been called to do the same things, to believe in the same things. Everybody has their own journey. Everyone has their own calling. Everyone was put here to do something different in their own special way. But I think at the root of it all, many of us were incarnated to break the cycles as one whole. Like, we all have a part in breaking the cycle and transmuting the energy that's been repeated constantly over and over again, so that these new babies, these new souls can come through. And the ones who have, like, constantly come back here again and again and again, getting a little emotional in a positive way, like a certain level of enlightenment. Like, 555, you don't have to come back here and do this shit again, because you've done your part. You graduated. Thank you. Far too kind. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? No, I don't want no more. I'm ready to graduate. I'm ready to graduate. Now, what I enjoy living a long experience here, getting to be 200, 300, possibly, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people want to be released from this lifetime because they can't find their way. They're having a miserable time here. Horrible time. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. You know what I'm saying? And at one point, that was me. Like, take me out of here, bucko. This shit is not. But I know anytime I felt like I didn't want to be here and this experience made no sense to me, was when I was living out of alignment. When I didn't have the knowledge. Or when I had the knowledge, I didn't know what to do with it. Or I was afraid of it. I was, frightened. I was fearful about what people think, about what was to come, about the unknown. Like, I'm so grateful to be in the space that I'm in right now. Like, even if I ain't doing shit, like, just to know, like, okay, and I don't have it all figured out. Trust me, I don't. However, like there's so much joy and peace that comes with like having a higher understanding and starting to um move out on it, you know? The feminine gives us the inspiration. We get the downloads and it gives us the inspiration. It gives us the understanding and the knowing, and then our masculine takes inspired action. Like the joy from taking inspired action towards what feels in alignment is like the best fucking thing. That's the best way I can explain. I'm not really, like I said, as well versed as I will be in the future, but I'm focusing on right now. Where I am right now is in a great fucking space. You know, a great space. So sometimes I do go back and forth with the thought of like, okay, well, if there's no cause of anything, if cause and effect is not real, how can I let go of the thought like, oh, well, if I'm in alignment, I'm doing these things, this will go this way. Again, like once, like, okay, for example, I started to choose differently for myself. What was the cause? Repeating cycles. Not wanting to repeat those cycles and choosing differently aided in my elevation. So that would seem like cause and effect to me. The effect was, I've been able to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm saying, like I said, I'm still figuring this shit out. If you can better explain or give me some enlightenment in the area, I greatly, greatly invite you to do so. This is just open talk, open thoughts. This is why I say that if you don't align with what I'm speaking of or nothing makes sense for you, it's not meant to, and that's okay. But don't come over here talking shit. Don't go sharing. Share with a positive mind frame. Share from positive thoughts. Don't share from a place of, oh, look at her. Oh, listen to this shit. Like, you're only keeping yourself stuck in fucking cycles. And if that's where you want to be, cool. Cool in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you. But what I will share is that I can, you know what? I ain't even going to say it. Do it for the tube. I ain't going to do it. Do it for the pod. I ain't going to do it. Do it for the. I'm not even going to speak on you in your life. I just hope that, your heart can be touched by the Most High Mother and Father. Your spirit, your soul can be touched by the Most High Mother and Father. You know what I've been having to switch gears? Like, I'm going to just leave that where it's at. But what I want to say real quick is what I've been noticing, like, I come across a lot of people in life on a day-to-day basis, like almost every day. Any day I step outside, like, I come across so many different people from so many different walks of life, right? And what I've been experiencing lately, I'm not trying to prove a point with this, I'm just sharing what I've been experiencing lately, is that a lot more YTs have been feeling the need to tell me about their life story. You know, they've been wanting to be, as they call it, or as they think, more relatable, or explaining to me how they can understand me or my people more than we like to believe. And I've just been feeling like, why do you feel like you need to tell me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you feel like you need to um give remorse or feel like you need to explain that you are down to earth, or tell me about your experiences, how you've had hardships, and how I guess I don't know. I don't even know how they assume I perceive them, and I'm not quite sure how they perceive me, nor do I give a shit like I used to. I did, I'm not gonna lie. Um However, with enlightenment, And something that when I talk to my mom that comes up in conversation, and she's reminded me of this at times, it's not about skin color, you know, after skin color. In this realm, it's about DNA. But even higher than that, it's not even about DNA. It's really just about your spirit. It's about, you know, your the spirit within the vessel, the soul, you know, after the spirit. Like, it's really about that and nothing else. And shit, like I said, when it comes to past life regressions and things like that, like I could have been of the other persuasion, you know, I could have been Caucasian, I could have been Asian, you know, um, who knows? So you have to be careful when focusing solely on that. It's really just about the spirit. It's really just about the soul. And it's like, how do you view me? Like, do you think I can save you? I'm not like sometimes I be feeling like I'm the mother at the church. And I'm not again well versed with this, but was it like the Catholic churches where you would go and the priest would be in like this little what seemed to be like a closet, I don't know, and you would go in and tell him your sins, and you know you'd be done, and I guess you know you'd be freed from the sin if you confess your sins and you know ask for forgiveness or whatever. I've I haven't experienced it myself or seen it in person. I just seen it from TV. So you know, correct me if I'm wrong, or I'm not sure how that goes, but yeah, that's how I be feeling sometimes. Like, I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm not anybody that you have to like. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. You know, I mean, thanks for sharing. You know, I know I have a spirit and an energy where you know I can talk to anyone. People feel safe with me. I'm appreciative of that. You know, um, I'm appreciative of that. It feels great to have that energy, a trusting energy, an energy where others feel like they can confide in you and things like. Because I'm not going to exploit anything, you know. And I'm not going to give out names or get specific about the messages. It's just like, why? You know, I'm going to listen to my people all day long, but as far as the YTs, like, why y'all feel like y'all need to do that? Have anybody else been experiencing that? Like, let me know. Has that been something you've experienced all your life? Or, you know, I don't know. It's the energy. Like, what's going on, y'all? Tap in and let me know. Yeah, I don't know. That's been my personal experience lately. Um, and sometimes, like I said, I just be wanting to say, like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, drop in the comments below some phrases that I can pass off, and it doesn't have to just be for the YTs, just for anyone in general, because sometimes people like to drain your energy that way. Like, they just want to fucking talk to you to take you off course, or to stop you from doing what you got to do. Like, a lot of the times, I will share this, it seems like it happens at a time where I'm telling myself, like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, bam, 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 and get this shit done. I'm on schedule, but maybe that's me succumbing to time, you know, or you know, the universe, like, hey, time doesn't exist. You know, growth is not linear. Yeah, this person took up this amount of time. You know, you didn't use any intercepting words, or you know, you didn't cut them off or tell them, hey, you know, I would love to stay, thank you for sharing with me, however I have to get going, so you know, I hope things get better for you, or you know, things will work out as they should, or whatever you say to end the conversation. Are you still going to continue on, you know, even if your time has been taken up? Are you still gonna do what you need to do, or are you gonna be like, oh my gosh, that conversation was so fucking draining? Like, now time has passed, I couldn't get shit done that I wanted to get done. Blah blah blah. What you gonna do? What are you going to do? Me personally, I've learned keep pushing forward. Don't give in. Somebody could have took up 2 hours of your time that you had planned to dedicate to, I don't know, maybe sun gaze, either intercept so you can cut in and get them out of your energy and they won't cut into your sun gazing time, because maybe you decided to do it the last 2 hours before the sun goes down. After the 2 hours, you could still go out, however, the sun won't be out there. So in that case, either cut them short or cut them short. And if it's a situation where the sun will still be out, you know, do it anyway. They took up 2 of your hours, okay, still go out. Yeah, that might push back your schedule, but guess what? What you decided is beneficial for you and what you need to get done for you is important. That's a value of yours. Still do it. Do not give up. Do not do it. That's just my word of advice, you know, if you're experiencing that or if you've experienced it. And if you're somebody who does that, stop pulling on people fucking energy. Like, that shit bothers me. Some people do it without knowing that they're doing it, but other people, however, know that you got some shit going on and they just want to take up your time. They want to feel important. They want to feel like they have control and that they can um have an effect on you, your life, and the shit that you're trying to do. It's different factors, y'all. I'm just telling you from experience, keep pushing forward, keep persevering. Don't give in to the loops and the timelines and the illusions as best as you can, you know, because we still growing, we still learning through it. So everything is not going to just come easy. Every concept, you're not going to be able to just wrap your mind around it the first time and then, you know, life is great. You got to practice, just like you've been conditioned and learned over time with what not to do, but it became a way of life and a part of you. Break that shit, and it's going to take time to unlearn that and jump into another timeline. You have to get familiar with getting unpredictable. You have to get familiar with and comfortable with glitching the system. You know, I'm 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 not a master in it, you know, just yet, but I did it. I'm doing it. It's just for who it's for, and for who it's not. I respect that too, you know. But something I've also been telling myself lately is not to even have an idea or um not to even have thoughts about certain things outside of myself. And even when it comes to myself, just be curious. Don't shame, blame, you know, don't demonize any thoughts that come. Just just be curious about them. You know, observe. Say okay. You know, take note and just keep it moving. Live your life. To live your life. Hey. All right, y'all. It's not getting that paper, so live your life. But yeah, those are my thoughts on what I've been thinking and the things I've been experiencing. Let me know if any of this resonates with you below. Okay, don't forget to hype this video up, like it, comment. Please comment. I want to talk to y'all. I want to see if anything that I'm saying, you know, has been a thought of someone else in the collective. You know, if we're all a part of the same conscious, we're all a part of the same, you know, one, then surely somebody else got to feel me. Somebody else got to, you know, be experiencing what I'm experiencing. It's just that I'm being open with it. I'm putting it out there. But yeah, y'all, thank you for listening and tuning in. Happy Friday to you. Shout out to you if you get that shmoney, and a bigger shout out if you learn how to get shmoney every day of the week at any moment in time. This has been Anywhere, Anytime, Anywhere podcast. Excuse me, where you're liable to hear anything at any given time. So, you know, I just want to appreciate or give my appreciation for you making it this far, and for those of you who consistently have been tuning in. just to see what's going on, and send positivity my way. Don't do me dirty. Don't get me dirty like a white tee. Send me positivity. But yeah, hype this video, comment, like, share, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss another episode. And you miss out on a chance to hear this voice. And after you do all of that, be sure to love yourself always in all ways. And I will catch you. No, that's not what I'm doing. I will catch you guys in my next episode. See you later. Hey everybody, welcome back to the